Yo, what's good, everybody? This your boy JTL, aka Opposite from the Nore 18, back with another one. Before I get started, make sure y'all subscribe and hit that notification button. Alright, so y'all seen it. Nore seems to regret having Ye on his show and letting him talk that talk. So now he's basically apologetic. So we're gonna get into this interview about him being apologetic. But before we get started, once again, hit that subscribe button and notification button. Let's get it.
And EFN decided to have Kanye back on Drink Champs. And I guess I'll start here, Nore. What was the logic for you guys in giving him the platform to come on and talk with you?
Well, the logic was the same way you guys are giving me the platform. I think you guys have love for me. You guys have respect for me. You guys think that I should have a say. There wouldn't be no Drink Champs if it wasn't for me coming to this very show and viewing my expressions. You know what I'm saying? I remember I came up with the idea to do Drink Champs after Prodigy wrote his book. And Prodigy wrote his book, and I had to have a rebuttal because obviously I was in the book. You know what I mean? And I would come up to this show, I would come up to the other show, and I started to realize that, you know what? I should have my own show. So this started from there. Now with Ye, I have a relationship with Ye. You know, when he was going through a lot of the things that he was going through, he would call me and he would actually listen to me and take my advice. So I felt I could control the situation. I felt that I could control the interview, and I've learned early on that I didn't. Like, you know, as a black man, I feel like I failed. As a human, I feel like I failed. But as a journalist, I succeeded because as a journalist, you're not really supposed to have an opinion. You're supposed to let people talk. And my biggest critique on Drink Champs is, Nore, you always cut people off. And this is the one time I didn't cut the people off. Didn't cut them
Everyone
off.
says you should have cut them off.
Everyone's mad. Like, I
Now, let's get into that real quick. Him trying to become a journalist, you know, he does pretty decent. And like he said, he always cuts people off, and that shit be annoying. We all say the same thing in the comment section. We all have done it. But at the same time, he brought up a, valid point. I mean, really think about it. When we see serious interviews, journalists may kind of give pushback, but you're still supposed to help guide the interview to where the person is explaining thoroughly what it is. It's on them whether they good or great at articulating it or not. But at the same time, you got a great point, because let's keep it real. The best interviews are the one where the journalist asks the question and the person answers it, and they're not just cutting them off and not being biased, like giving actual pushback, just like if they was this side asking the question or that side asking the question, but not trying to keep them boxed in to make them basically do like what Fox News does.
So let's just stick to what the script is and cut everyone off. But I sincerely apologize to anybody that was hurt by Kanye's words, by Kanye's actions, because I didn't really realize that sometimes you're so much into the interview, you're not even in the interview. You understand what I'm saying? And so for the first 5 minutes, Kanye had walked in and he said he had people filming. And he told to my producer, he said, if you tell my people to stop filming, that he would walk out. So that the rhetoric of George Floyd, when you hear him speak about George Floyd, that's in the first 5 to 8 minutes of the actual interview. I actually check him and I say, you shouldn't say that. I actually check him about the Jewish community. I actually check him about the black community, but you don't see that till 2 hours in the interview. So what you're seeing right now, what we're getting backlash for, is for the first 5 minutes of the interview. And you guys understand that when you're trying to have a long interview or an in-depth interview,
you got to pace yourself.
You got to pace yourself. So, but if the people are mad at me, the people are saying that was irresponsible of Nore, you know what? I'm gonna say yes. Y'all right. You know what I mean? Like, I should have checked him right then and there. So he said it.
I hear you, and because I love you, I went and kept watching. I was like, everyone's saying they didn't check them at all. Let me keep going. And I got to the parts where you guys did try to push back. I mean, listen, you guys went the homie approach of like, hey, but what about You know, which is what you should do because he's your homie.
Right.
Like it makes sense that was your route. Do you feel though? My only criticism would be this, Nore. There was one part where you trying to really push back at the end, and I was like, oh man, Nore's too drunk. He's too drunk.
I was too like. By the way, we're called drink champs, guys. We're not political champs. You know.
Good point. They're not political champs. But I mean, you got to think about it. Push back on what? Well, I mean, what was he supposed to like really, really push back on? I think this is where it's a problem at. When y'all expect somebody to do an interview and then push back on him like he's you. That's what he was supposed to do with the interview. And we know what the situation is with Kanye, especially when people friends or he's more successful than them. They ain't gonna want to push back. They gonna punk out. We already know that. So the stuff that Kanye said, yeah, he was sounding very, very belligerent about certain things and need to get his mind right on certain things. But let's be honest. What was Nore really supposed to do? Slap him?
I'm saying we're called drink champs. We're here to get these people inebriated. We're here to have, because that's when you get these stories that you guys love so much, is when I get them drunk. So unfortunately, sometimes I get drunk with them. It's just he stood with that ideology. He stood to what. And by the way, I love Kanye West. I really think that we shouldn't give up on Kanye West. I really think that
it's getting tough.
We should talk. Yeah, I know this. I really think. Because right now, to me, I just got the phone with Talib Kweli, and I said, Talib, I think you should reach out to him. I think he needs a Mos Def conversation. I think he needs a Dave Chappelle conversation because he's not having these. So when he's having them, he's so much in dominance of this. And like I said, you know, let me not railroad. I'm here to say I apologize to anybody who felt like I let them down. Because I did feel like I did let them down to a certain extent because, like I said, I did check him later, but by the time I checked him, it was already kind of like too late. So I can't be mad at Baller Alert for, you know, posting the footage that I don't want them to post because I'm not mad at them when they post the footage that I do want them to post. So yeah, I do feel let down. I do feel like I didn't do the right job, but this is a learning experience. I did not go to school for journalism, but that's not an excuse. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a special ed student. It's not an excuse. I should have checked him as soon as he said it.
I appreciate that sentiment. Laura, what do you got?
I will say that because I was so frustrated watching clips of you trying to get a point across, but there was never really a point made because you were trying to gather your thoughts and you were clearly very drunk. But yes. I'll give you some pushback. I feel like sometimes when you sit down and you're gonna talk to somebody, especially when you know that shows like The Shop couldn't even air their episode because of the hate speech and the consequences that things can come out of. I just felt like, God, I really felt like.
Well, I felt like I had control. You know, I felt like I had control. So, and then at the time, it's like, you know, I've been the guy that they said blackballed. You know, I've been the guy that they didn't let in Hot 97. I've been the guy that wasn't allowed in the MTV, BET studios, Viacom studios. So I've been there. So I was thinking of that. I said, you know what? I felt like I was blackballed before. So let me let this guy speak. And I did let him speak. And it's a 3-hour interview. It was only 2 minutes of it where I didn't have control of it. You know what I'm saying? So, am I apologetic? Yes, I'm super apologetic. It's a learning lesson for me. I've never faced this before, but I want to say that I'm sorry. You know what I mean? I can sit there. I can say, yo, you know, that's only Kanye West, and it's only what he said. But I have a responsibility when I have an audience.
But do you think? How about this? Let me question you on this. Do you think you were too thirsty to have this moment? Were you looking too much to get the eyeballs?
Peter, to tell you the truth, I already scored the touchdown.
Right.
It was just me spiking the ball. You know what I'm saying? I had already scored the touchdown. I'm just being honest. I feel like we're the biggest in the game. I feel like we are. And I feel like I already scored the touchdown. I didn't need the spike.
All right, so I'm going to end it right here. If y'all want to watch the rest of the interview or actually, you know, see it and listen to the whole interview or whatever, I got the link in the description for you. But I want to leave on this thought. First and foremost, to me, all he doing is proving Ye's point. As soon as he says something that people don't like, what do? They cancel you. Now, At the same token, what bothers me with Kanye is the fact that you want to keep running to where they will cancel you. Now, I heard something about him buying his own situation, trying to make his own platform and build it. That's what he needs to do. Okay? Because at the same time, I'm not saying it need to be a free fall. We still got to be responsible with our words. But for you to always want to run to establishments and then talk shit to them, the problem that a lot of us as black people got with Kanye, where we like, we ain't studying him no more. It's because when it comes to black people and the so-called quote-unquote victim mentality, victim Olympics, black people need to stop crying and complaining. But as soon as something happened to Yeezy, now it's racism. It's they doing this to me because I'm black, or I'm a black father and I gotta go through this and I this and that and this and that. Bruh, you a billionaire. You are $2 billion right now. So you mean to tell me your problems is more important to you, and it should be more important to us, but when it comes to us, it don't matter. And that's the problem we have with these sellout tap dancers. But keep it on the journalist perspective, that is an issue. It made me want to watch the rest of the interview, and I tried with the Drake chance. I just couldn't watch it because Kanye get on my damn nerves. But I will say, when it comes to freedom of speech, you gotta be careful about where you're saying that, because you're going on somebody's private platform that money is being spent. You can't do that. And I think we have to be more responsible with our words. Kanye was just too belligerent. And at the end of the day, if they try to stop you, even when you are responsible with your words, guess what you do? You build your own shit. This your boy JTL, aka Opposite from the Norm 18. Make sure y'all subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we'll be back with more greatness. Cheer!